Welcome back to Heroes on Our Island. I'm Mike Stevens. We're coming to you this edition from Lynbrook, which is the birthplace of a very friendly face many of us grew up watching on TV. Bob Keeshan, also known as Captain Kangaroo. Let's go to Seaford now, where we meet some volunteers who are determined to look after the elderly and the disabled. You won't find too many guys more devoted to their wives than Erwin Green of Seaford. He watches over his soulmate like a hawk, especially since Nona has had some serious medical challenges the last few years. And let's face it, it's tough to see someone you love getting older and not able to get around like they used to.
We're not just husband and wife, not just lovers, but we're good friends.
Nona used to lead a very active life, but for over a decade she has been suffering from severe arthritis in her knees. Medication helps some, but it can only do so much. Kindness, patience, and a loving husband do the rest.
Her problem is her knees. She can't climb steps, and it's getting progressively worse. She's taken all kinds of medication. I guess because of her age, the surgery is not an option at this point.
My life now compared to, say, 10, 12 years ago, completely different. I mean, I did so much more years ago, even though I had trouble walking because of my knees. I had polio as a child, and I had 100% recovery. But they do say there's something called post-polio syndrome, which can occur 40, 50, 60 years later. And that's what happened to me.
Erwin and Nona had been busy volunteers for many years. Erwin with the Boy Scouts, Nona with the Girl Scouts and Brownies, plus other causes including working in their kids' school PTA. But not being able to get around much anymore, she's been forced to stay indoors, a virtual prisoner in her home. Now, an outdoor wheelchair ramp would have allowed her to easily get out for her weekly doctor visits. But the price tag of $12,000 was too high for Nona and Erwin. So Erwin made an effort and built a makeshift ramp, which both he and Nona say didn't work very well.
By using the handicap ramp, or whatever you want to call it, that I built in the back, I had to still pull the wheelchair across the lawn. I happen to have a heart condition. It was not the best thing in the world for me to be able to do, but anytime I had to take her out, I would be dragging her and the wheelchair across the lawn.
Going out was bad, but coming in was worse. I cried every time.
But now, Nona cries tears of joy. A few months ago, somebody told the Greens about these Good Samaritans, a group called Rebuilding Together Long Island. They're volunteers who are retired or are senior citizens themselves, and they are determined to help the disabled and the elderly with low fixed incomes. The Greens qualified on all three counts.
Elated. I cried because, I mean, I didn't expect this. We had contacted I think the county, and there was like a 3-year wait, they told us. And I couldn't wait 3 years. And when this company, Rebuilding Together, called me and told me they were going to do the ramp in a week or two, I was overjoyed. Just walking out, being able to go out in the wheelchair on the deck, which I could not do before. Just going out there and watching these men and that woman doing the work there was so overcoming to me. I don't know what to say. I was awed. I was enthralled. I was any adjective you can think of. It was just unbelievable.
Saul Goldstein came up with the idea 20 years ago after helping to build a home for another well-thought-of agency, Habitat for Humanity.
There are many elderly, disabled, low-income people living on Long Island who would probably wind up losing their house if we didn't go in to do the necessary repairs to keep them safe, warm, and comfortable.
The ramp they're building for the Green family is the 180th they have built so far. They've also done home repairs to almost 1,800 houses. That's about 100 homes a year. The Greens house needed repairs and the ramp.
I feel very good that we can help someone like this particular family, this woman cannot get out of the house. She's confined to a wheelchair. The porch is made of brick. The bricks are all loose and broken. So there's no way for her to get out of the house safely. And if there's an emergency, that is a very serious situation.
Rebuilding Together Long Island finds out who needs help through social service agencies, synagogues, and churches. Funding comes from private donations. The group of 189 active volunteers that do the work themselves come from all walks of life. Some are retired school principals. Some are housewives, former executives, retired electricians, carpenters, and engineers.
I enjoy doing the work. It's always nice to help people.
Bob Wolofka, a retired bank computer programmer, has been doing this for 8 years now. He says he was looking for something to do and found out about this online. He says at 65 he is usually the youngest of the workers and calls doing this quite rewarding.
When you see somebody, when you finish a ramp and they're out and down the block visiting their friends, and they couldn't do that before, it always makes you feel good when you see something like that.
Lynn Carson, a veterinary technician, was the only female volunteer who happened to be working on this particular wheelchair ramp.
Just thrilled to help people. And you know, sometimes I even drive by after we're done and look at the ramp and say, oh, I helped do that. And I made somebody's life easier.
But these people would actually do this as they're all volunteers, and that they would come and they would do this, and unbelievable.
Watching them work is just unbelievable. I mean, they're not getting paid. They seem to enjoy helping people. They do not make you feel like you're a charity case at all. Whether they realize it or not, they've really saved 2 lives.
Even if I don't go anyplace, I can sit on the porch and just sit and see people, see some of my neighbors, and talk to people.
There's no way you can repay these people for what they're doing here. They've given up their time and the materials and everything. It's unbelievable, but we are so thankful.
Now with the ramp, please, my life will be so much different, so much better. It's a godsend.
A hero is somebody who you feel has done something extra special and should be recognized.
No, I'm not big on that. I'm just somebody that likes to help other people and do what I can do for as long as I can.
I just do it because it has to be done. There are a lot of people who need it, so it makes me sleep good at night and makes me feel good.
Now, Rebuilding Together at Long Island is always looking for more volunteers and donations to help those in need. And if you'd like to find out more, go to their website, rebuildingtogetherlongisland.org.